Hey everyone, this is Charlie, and you are watching The Burrow. Now, kind of exclusively what I tend to talk about on this channel, right, is writing. Writing fiction, my problems with writing nonfiction, and things like that. But I want to talk with you today about actually one of the strange, unexpected, kind of, in a way, uncomfortable sort of solutions I'm finding to actually being more productive in my writing and feeling better about my writing on like a daily basis and being sort of more productive. And it all starts with, let's see, where is he? It all starts with this little guy. Many of you out there, right, if you're watching this channel, probably know, at least are familiar with what this might be. This is a Bulbasaur. This is the very first Pokemon that I chose to play the Pokemon video games with when I was a kid. Now, if you're wondering what in God's name a Bulbasaur could have to do with writing and how he is helping me to sort of get through the process and maybe even do it a little bit better, I've started writing Pokemon fanfiction. I don't have any interest in writing Pokemon fanfiction as my thing, of course, or anything like that. Recently I saw this this story, maybe it's called like Panda Around the World or something to that effect, where basically the photographer was taking pictures of wherever they were, and I think they had like a little like a panda right in the foreground. Maybe he was sort of out of focus so that the main shot was in focus, and basically it was using the panda, right, to sort of tell the artist's story of travel, of going around the world and everything like that. And so I thought, well, that's a really interesting idea, and I thought, well, I would like to do that with something. And then so the idea was that I would do it with this Bulbasaur. This is kind of like a funny thing that I would do for my main channel, but then it became this thing where I realized, like, hey, maybe I can not just tell the story through pictures, but I can write like a fun story to go along with it, right? So voila, the story of this Bulbasaur was sort of born, and is now called Lost in Johto, which is a better title than what it was, but nowhere near what one should consider a good title for anything. I don't know about you guys, but when I first sit down to write, most days there's this period at the beginning, right, where it's just like, okay, everything, like, I gotta get the dust out of my head. It's taking a while for me to get into my story, and even if I'm able just to sit down and write, right, it's like I have to get all this crap out of the way first, and more often than not, when I do sit down and write, like, I'm finding that I will go back and delete the first page because it's just like, pancakes, right? Okay, so pancakes, right? And I'm smiling because I think myself really clever, even though I'm not. But when you're making pancakes, right, you make the batter and everything, you get the pan nice and hot, maybe put in your butter or whatever your cooking fat is that you're using, and you put in the pancake batter, right? And it's sort of like this test thing, right? Like, eventually that you're going to get to the good, delicious pancakes that aren't burnt, the texture's nice and everything, they aren't overcooked, whatever. But that first pancake is probably going to be either not cooked enough, or it's going to be a little burnt or whatever, so you can figure out the heat and whatever. And that's basically how it is for me for writing, right? Is that, like, the first page, the first 400 words are that burnt pancake. Maybe I'm just going to, 9 times out of 10, I'm just going to throw out that burnt cake instead of stomaching it. This is what this little guy is actually solving for me, is that instead of spending those sort of what is effectively like my warm-up time in throwaway words, right, for my main project right now is a fiction project I began working on last year. I'm spending it actually writing these ridiculous little warm-up stories about this guy, and it's been really fun so far. There's no pressure for me whatsoever to write anything fantastic about him, but it's been fun just to sort of talk about his journey of him being this lost little Pokemon looking for his master in a place that he's unfamiliar with, right? Basically, there's no pressure for me here at all, and Versus when I'm sitting down to write this novel, there's so much pressure. Like, okay, I have to get through this part. There's this thing that I need to do, that I want to do with this chapter, right? Like there's an event that I know I need, that I've been working up to, that I need to write, or something that I need to edit or fix or whatever. So there's always this sort of this checkpoint that I need to hit, right? And with that comes pressure. But with Bulbasaur, I have a picture. I need to continue the story in some kind of sensible way, but I have a picture that I'm just writing about, and it's so easy and it's nice. And what I found, and this is the moral of the story, the point of the video, is that by having this project for which there's no pressure, there's no real goal except to sit down and write and have fun with it. After I write this, right, and I treat this like my warm-up, these stories don't take me any longer than 20 minutes, then I switch over to my fiction projects, or then I switch over to when I'm writing for the Japan Standard, and it's so much easier. It's so much easier than spending my warm-up actually working on those things, and I feel like looking at the projects, my writing is better for it, and I feel a little bit better about writing every day, knowing that I'm not going through that sort of slog at the beginning. So anyhow, I am by no means saying that you should go out and, get yourself a Bulbasaur, although I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying you should necessarily start writing Pokemon fan fiction, but I am saying that if you are in the same boat as I am, where you're sitting down, you're trying to write these things that are really important to you, maybe find something that there's no pressure for you to do, to sort of get yourself in the mood for writing, to sort of warm yourself up, and to remind yourself how fun just writing to write can be. So, do you have a project like that already? Tell me about it down in the comments below. If you have another method that you use to sort of ease yourself into writing every day without sort of killing yourself, getting through all the crap that comes out first, let me know about that in the comments too. And yeah, guys, thank you as always for watching. Be sure, of course, to check out Emily's most recent video and our other videos here in the Burrow. And yeah, go write something awesome, guys. Cheers.
Today I want to talk about how to improve your art. I see a lot of people asking about that online, and people have asked me that a few times. So the very first thing is that life drawing is the most important and the best way to improve